to another episode of Sleeping Giants, Red Star Belgrade. Now, we are joined in the Champions League what am I talking about? The Champions League quarter-final draw. And there's only 8 teams left in the competition, and amazingly, we are one of them. I don't know how, but it has happened. Now, we do have some other stuff to talk about, which we'll see after the draw, once we get up to the first game, because it's going to be a double LiveCom episode, because we will be LiveComming both games in this episode of whoever we get in this draw. So I don't know this yet, so it could be anything. We could get spanked in both legs, and it'd be a bit boring, but, you know, I felt it was the right thing to do at the time. We all have a youth intake to talk about. We've got some other stuff to talk about as well. So that's all coming up soon. So firstly, let's just get into this draw and see who we get. Now, who would I like? Ajax, Roma, maybe Liverpool? I mean, PSG... I tell you what, if we can avoid Barca or City, I would be... maybe PSG. I tell you what, if we can avoid those, I'll be happy. Chances are we won't avoid those. Let's just give it a go. Automatic draw. Go! PSG will play Manchester City, that's good. They're drawn against each other. AS Roma will play Porto. Oh, please don't get Barca. Barca will play, not us. Ajax, which means we're playing Liverpool. I tell you what, guys. Have we beaten Liverpool? We've certainly done all right against Liverpool at home before. I bloody wonder. Can we do the impossible and go one step further in this? By the way, we got 2.8 million as a bonus for playing in the last round. So I think we get like 4 or 5 million for playing in this round. We are going to be rolling in it this season. And wow, I cannot believe we've been drawing against Liverpool. There is a chance that we could maybe sneak through here, guys. I'm serious. We beat Arsenal 8-2, remember? And they were group winners. Ooh. If we can put in a solid performance against them at home, and then set up solid defensively away from home, you just never know what we're capable of in this competition, and see how far we can push it this year. Imagine if we won the Champions League this year, just out of nowhere. I don't think we're going to do that, but hey, it's good to push it as far as we can, and that's exactly what we're doing. So I'll see you guys in a sec, where we will come back for the first game in the episode today, as well as to talk about some other stuff. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Right, guys, we are back, and we are now on the day of our match against Liverpool, the away leg. But of course, we've got some other matches to talk about that have happened in the interim. There's actually been quite a few, well, 4 actually. So we're just going to go through them. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to show full 3D highlights of them, because if I do that in this episode, it could drag on a little bit too much. We're just going to try and concentrate on the Liverpool games. But we will still talk about the matches that have happened, because it is important. So we started off against Spartak Zlatibor. I think this was the league game, because we played them twice in a row. Yeah, this is the league game. Simple win, basically. Luka Jovic and Dragoljub Srnic wrapped the game up after 20 minutes for us, essentially. When we got to the last 20 sort of minutes, I thought, well, okay, let's just chill and go on defensive, protect the clean sheet, and we did, and wrapped up yet another clean sheet for the season, which was great to see. Srnic was actually man of the match in this one, which was good to see as well, which kept us going at the top of the league. In our next game, we played them, of course, in the Cup. Now, this was a weird one. Like, we should have won this game by an absolute mile. As you can see, we went 3-0 up here through we went 2-0 up through Milan Gajic and Luka Jovic. Then they got one of those irritating free kick goals. You know, the one where they take the free kick, it hits the crossbar, goalkeeper's laying on the floor. They're just, yeah, you know what I mean. We've seen them hundreds of times before, and they scored one of those. Then Milan Gajic put us back in front again on 81 minutes. And then they got a penalty as well, and disappointing when you actually look at it. Like, we should have had this game in the bag, but it didn't happen. Well, I mean, we won the game anyway, but I wanted to get a bigger win so that we could rest players for the return leg in the home match. I mean, I might still do that, depending on where it falls. It falls after the Liverpool game. There's quite a huge gap between the second and first legs, but that will do. I think I probably could take that seriously, actually. I want to see if we can go unbeaten in the Cup for, like, a ridiculous length of time. In our next game, we played against FK Rad in the league, and it was a similar story to the first game of the month, in the sense that we took an early lead, missed a penalty in this one, actually. Jovic missed the goal entirely. But then, once it got towards the end, I thought, well, it's probably best just defend the lead, stick with it, get the 1-0, being the key part there. Savicevic was man of the match in this one. Now, in our last game of the month, things took a little bit of a turn for the worse, and I think this is the reason that we're never going to get an unbeaten season. I think it's going to be very difficult for us to ever get an unbeaten season in this save, just because, as you can see, you're going to have games like this, and you'll get at least one every year, basically, where you just can't win. Belic missed a penalty for us, firstly, then Thabasso and Karnak went straight through for Vojvodina. Radomir Milosevic made it 2-0, and obviously we had Nikola Antic taken off injured, as was Nikola Karaklic. I did play a slightly weakened team, but we were still the better side, and as you can see, we should have won this game as well, but instead lost 2-0. And you get that sometimes. I think that is probably the reason that I don't think we'll ever get an unbeaten season. That being said, before this game, we'd actually gone 30 games unbeaten in the league, so technically that's a full-length season, essentially. It was from April 9th to April April 4th, so nearly a full year unbeaten in domestic competitions, which is a shame for it to go out the window like this, but it's going to happen. But it doesn't matter, because as you'll see in a sec, we are so far clear it's untrue. 17 points ahead of Jagodina at the moment. Shame we conceded those 2 goals. If we can just... Then again, I said I wanted to concede under 20. Provided we don't concede more than 8 in our last 9, we should be okay. But we do have to play Partizan in there at some point. So that could be interesting. Partizan have... they're still not doing great. They have improved a little bit. They're 23 points off the pace, so still got no hope in hell of catching us, and that's fine by me. In fact, we'll be technically clear of them in a couple of matches. But I think we'll win the league comfortably. And now that we've lost, I'm not too bothered about defending records or anything, so I might, once we've won it, play a load of the youth players for a bit to give them some game time. That being said, speaking of youth players, I'll do a squad thing where we show you the stats after the second game, that way we don't have to do it twice. But what I do want to show you is a youth intake, basically. So obviously the youth intake isn't counted as part of this at the moment, but on the screen now you should be seeing a screenshot I took of our youth intake. That way you can see that it wasn't very good, if I'm honest. Now, it's hard for me to remember because I can't actually see this while I'm recording it. So it wasn't very good. Most of the players were pretty... Like, compared to what we've had come through in recent years, it was a poor one by our standards. It really was. I have gone out and tried to sign some youth players from some of the other clubs. So the moment I saw our youth intake come in, it was that bad. I went straight into the youth intakes and sent scouts to have a look at some of the more reputable youth academies in Serbia, basically. And I've brought in a couple of players from Vojvodina, which I'll probably have to show you in the next episode just to save some time. And that's pretty much used up like £3 million. They wanted a lot of money from them. There was a guy from Partizan as well, but he wouldn't even enter contract negotiations with us. So that's interesting, the fact that we are this good of a team in the league, and he wasn't even interested. So we still don't have much of a pull even domestically, it would seem. Also, a few people said they wanted me to sign Nemanja Milic. I'm sorry, guys, but he's not a very good player. He's scored a lot of goals for Radnik Serdulica, but that's for Radnik Serdulica. He wouldn't get near our first team. Firstly, he's 29 years old. Nothing about his stats, for me, stands out. Nothing in the green. He's not going to get any better. I just don't think it's a worthwhile signing. Like, just because he scored a load of goals does not mean that he's going to be able to do that for us. It doesn't work like that. And the same would apply for someone like Juro Zec. I don't know exactly that much about him, but he's 30 years old. Nothing here would... no, he's finishing something 11. For me, these are not worthwhile signings. Plus, they're old. We've got decent players in those areas. So I just don't think those would be worthwhile. I've already probably posted a screenshot I took of that as well for you guys in the comments, but I just want to, explain my sort of reasoning behind that in a little bit more depth. Right, now that we can move on a little bit from that, let's get into today's game against Liverpool. Now, I was a little bit harsh on Liverpool, I think, earlier in this episode when I said that we could beat them. They're the reigning champions of this exact competition. They've completely forgot. I mentioned this as well. They won it last year. So I think this is going to be incredibly tough, but we're going to set up away from home with the aim of basically frustrating them. What is that formation? 4-1-2-1... Well, it's basically 4-1-2-1, so that is a... That being said, it is very, very narrow. That's interesting, right? We're going to go with this system. Quick pick. I'm going to change some stuff around before we get into the game. So Antic, Bazanvira, Lazic, Adamenko, Bajic, Chufedzic, Ristic, Savicevic, Gajic, Militic and Jovic. Pretty much your first choice there. Korene, Cernic, Tosca, Pia, Ozdoev and Horva on the bench. Now, Pia's been already starting to complain at me about not getting first team football, and he's already kind of backed me into the corner to the point where you can't say there's literally no other option on the screen than, I'll have to let you go then. Which is a fucking... It happens, basically, and it's... I just wish they'd fix that stuff when you've got the squad. I mean, I understand that they do want to move up, but it's pointless having squad roles if players are going to act as if they're all key players. It's really irritating, basically. Don't sign a contract for that. If they accept that squad role, they should be able to... that should be the squad role that they accept. What's the point otherwise? Or rather, if that's the case and they do want to change, then that should be okay. But at the same time, they shouldn't be able to mess with your squad harmony because they've signed a contract that says they had that squad role. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, doesn't matter. We've dealt with it the best way we can, and, if he stays, he stays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he doesn't, we'll probably get a couple of million quid for him, so there is always that bonus. Although I'd rather keep him, because I think he's quite good. Some of you may have also noticed in the last episode that I actually sold Naby Camara. The main reason for that is because I didn't see that much progression in him in terms of his potential anymore, and we got him on a free transfer and we were offered like £600,000 for him. So I figured we'd take the money, get a little bit more of a cash injection to use on bringing in some more young Serbian players, which is what I've done in this sort of little period of play, because I'm going to try and get as many of the good young Serbian players as I physically can. Basically, because there are good Serbian players out there. And I think if we put the Serbian national team, like those kind of players in, we probably have a decent shot. But the problem is we can't attract those types of players. You know, Nemanja Vidic, is Stefan Jovetic? I don't know if I think he's Montenegrin, isn't he? Apologies. And people like that. I don't know if Ivanovic is Serbian or I think he's Slovakian. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not very good with Serbian footballers. Apologies. My knowledge does have gaps in it. Anyway, so let's just get into this then. Barcelona playing Ajax today. I think the plan for me is, well, actually, one thing I am going to do, so we're going to quickly, Dragan Saric is going to do that, but one thing I am going to change about our tactic is because Liverpool are playing so narrow, I'm going to, I'm going to play wider. The problem is, basically, they're playing narrow, but if we go play wider, is that just going to open gaps for their narrow formation to go through? Or if we play narrow, but I don't know, what I want, there needs to be an instruction, really, to say, to get my defenders to play narrower, but our attackers to play wider as a result of those. You see what I mean? Like, I just wish there was a little bit more flexibility in the instructions, like some extra things that you could do, basically, because I think that we need the option, basically, to tighten up defensively so they tuck in to block those narrow attacks, because they're not going to be getting their fullbacks forward that much, clearly. Or they might well do, but the point is that they're very narrow-minded. So that was a terrible joke. And that was a horrible laugh afterwards. Anyway, but I want to make sure that my attackers will stay wide and exploit the flanks. I suppose that's what that's for. It's just the way that play narrow, look to the middle and play in the middle of the pitch. I don't want that. I want that from a defensive point of view. I wish there was like one on here that just says tuck in or something. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, right, so we're just going to go with the standard, actually. I don't think I will mess with that. Basically, the plan here is just to not lose. Well, no, it's not to not lose. It's to basically just put in the best performance physically possible and just be as defensively solid as we physically feel we can do. Because we're going to be better at home, and we've got draws against Liverpool at home before. Well, we've got a draw against them at home. We did lose 7-3 here, though, and that's the sort of result we can't afford to have today. We need to put in a strong performance today, basically. A resolute one where we put in the big tackles. I might have it... Do I have it on get stuck in? No, I don't. Right. I know that might potentially give away fouls, but I think it might enable us to just be a bit harder in the tackle and maybe make more of a difference in that one. So we're going to just turn that on. If we can see the penalty from it, then that's just something that happens. But I'd rather make sure that we make some big tackles, because it might encourage the players to put in bigger tackles when they need to, basically, or just let the players run straight through them. That is always a potential hazard, I guess, of doing that. Apology there, guys. My voice is going a bit funny again. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to do that in front of the microphone. It can be incredibly loud. So, first 20 minutes, we've not created anything ourselves, but we've severely limited Liverpool at the moment, and we seem to be doing okay. But they've had a lot of shots already in just the first 20 minutes, and the possession they're having is absurd. But then I'm not too bothered about possession. Are we on pass into space with this tactic, are we? Since we're not retaining much possession anyway, I'm going to say more direct passing, and hit some early crosses as well. Just because we're clearly not going to get the ball that much up the pitch, so we might as well take our chances when we do get the ball. 30 minutes on the clock here. Okay, so Decker and Zivkovic both need to be closed down. Long ball played downfield. Militic, you won't win this header. Liverpool do seem to be first to every ball at the moment, and that is a problem. And Zivkovic, we've got many men. That's great play. No, that's incredible defending. They really do seem incredibly narrow. Oh, wow. All the players going into this little clustered area here, and if we let them they really are trying to drive through the middle of our team, and if we can try and stop that, I tell you what, there might be hope for us yet. I'm almost tempted to change and bring on a defensive midfielder to sit in that gap as well, to try to really solidify. If it's half-time and we... Oh, no. Oh! We look like we might get to half-time at 0-0 here, which would be an incredible result. If we get a 0-0 away at Liverpool, that would be one hell of a start to this episode, so to speak. Right, so we got that at half-time. They've not created a huge deal. They're doing okay. It's not ours for the taking so much, but I'm just thinking, they really are playing incredibly narrow. And I'm just wondering if we could maybe do we really need 2 strikers on the pitch in a game like this? I'm just wondering if there maybe is a chance to bring off Militic, have like an well, we'd have an anchor really, wouldn't we? Where is he? There we go, what we're doing. Right, yeah. Like an anchor. Who can we play there? That's the question. Ozdoev, perhaps? Let's just see who's good there. Militic. Yeah, it would have to be Ozdoev. I'm just wondering, because if they are going to be as narrow as that, would that be a better approach to take in this second half? Lower the tempo a little bit. We don't need to be quite so... Let's just go with that. I know it's probably a risk, but I just feel if they're going to play as narrow as that, then having that extra man in there might just be able to limit them that little bit more. It's just a theory, basically. And we've got those 3 attacking players, and you just never know. But look at the amount of congestion in this area of the pitch now that they're going to have to try and work their way through, basically, in order to get any form of attacking threat. Oh, come on, don't just... What a save. What a... Oh, fuck that. Well, I mean, I think the tactic is actually working, but when you get defensive situations like that, what can you do? The amount of opportunities they had to clear the ball there was just stupendously huge. That doesn't mean I'm going to start going out and attacking them, but I mean, the thing, like, that should be it there. He's saved it. But then what are they... Oh my God. Nicola Antish, what are you doing, son? Levin is closing down. Oh, actually, there's something else I need to look at, isn't it? See if they've got any adjustments they want me to make there. I think it was just a case of damage limitation here. We had to come here and try to lose by as less as possible. They are Liverpool and they beat us 7-3 here, remember? Last season, I think it was. So 1-0 at the moment after an hour. I want to just remain strong against them. We've got a lot of players in this area. Oh, come on. He's going to get sent off as well, isn't he? That didn't even look like it was in the penalty area. Okay, it's a shame. We've actually we've done all right in terms of defending the chances this time, but that little defensive error and now a penalty look like they're going to sink us. There we go, 2-0 to Liverpool, and that's disappointing, actually. Like, they deserve to be winning this game based on the number of chances they've had, absolutely. But the 2 goals they've scored, I didn't even know if that... it didn't even look in the area to me. Plus, the match engine thing even said it was a dive. I know you're thinking, well, maybe you could go and try and get the away goal, but what I don't want to do is throw it on overload now, trying to desperately get the away goal and end up losing 4-0, because then we are completely done for if that happens, basically. Horvath has I know it sounds stupid, but Jovic has not performed for us tonight, and I'm going to get Bazanvir off, just because he's already... Like, he probably should have been sent off if they were going to give a penalty there. So I don't want him to get sent off and be banned for the second leg. That's kind of my main worry. Jovic trying to throw himself at that there. Gajic, can he get the ball to anyone? I mean, going forward, we've been anonymous tonight. They're completely non-existent. But I guess that was kind of as to be expected. Gajic has won the ball here. Around the corner for Jovic! Oh, my days. Liverpool 2, Red Star Belgrade 1. Luka Jovic. That is perfect. He's going to come off immediately, but he's made the impact right when we needed him most, and lovely ball around the corner from Gajic there, but what a finish this is from Luka Jovic, and that might make up for everything. You know, we've only had 1 good chance in today's game and we've taken it. That being said, we now need to really defend, but I'm not going to change anything in terms of strategy defensive wise until after this highlight, because it does look as though it's about to basically go straight up the other end and score again. Balotelli, oh come on. It's another one of those. I mean, did the goalkeeper dive for it? He must have dived for it, but it was probably straight down the middle, and that's what I don't get about these types of goals. Like, they take so long to get back up again, and the defenders never follow them in. It's disappointing to concede goals like that in this sort of game, but it happens, and we have to move on. 3-1 still isn't the worst result in the world, I have to point that out. 4 would be a bit much, though, and that's the issue here. We're going to try and go and contain for the last 15 minutes and just try and lose 3-1. It's not Just 3-1 isn't the worst result. 2-1 would have been much better. I'm just disappointed at the goals we've conceded. Not the fact that we've conceded them, but the way in which they were conceded. I think that's been the most disappointing feature of this game. Oh no, please not another one. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I think from a defensive standpoint, that tactic actually worked fairly well against them. Not in terms of stopping them from having shots. That was always going to happen, but I don't think it was that disappointing. But I guess since we lost, there's not really much else I can say about that. We've got ourselves that crucial away goal, though, which means if we can beat Liverpool 2-0 in the return leg, then God knows what could happen. You just never know. And Jovic has now got 10 goals in the Champions League this year, which is incredible. So, guys, I'm going to basically come back in the next game, join you guys for the next match in a sec, so I'll see you guys in a minute. Hi guys, we are back again, and we played one game in the midweek. Not midweek, technically it's the Saturday, so this is actually the midweek, in between our 3-1 defeat at Liverpool. It could have been worse, that game. We're going to have to go full out at them today, but you just never know. Like, see what we did against Arsenal, and we have beaten some big sides at home this year. So a 2-0 win would see us through. That's the thing. And we've won a lot of games 2 and 3-0 this year in the league. So you just never know. You know, Jovic got us that absolutely crucial goal, basically. And I was disappointed at some of the other goals we conceded, but it happens. And if they didn't score them like that, they'd have scored them another way. But then again, they didn't. That's the thing, because I think our tactic actually worked quite well in that sense. But hey, in the midweek, we played against Radnicki, and again, one of those games, 33 shots, 11 on target, 9 clear-cut chances, I think it was. Only scored 1 goal, only just about managed to scrape a draw with them, really, in the end. Disappointing. But it happens. We did play a weakened side in some respects, but they still managed to have that amount of chances, and they're not bad. They're not that bad. So, hey, it happens. We're still miles clear at the top of the league anyway, and we didn't lose, so that was a bonus. Anyway, moving back into today's game. Now, I'm going to do the little squad update thing here so we can have a little look. Top goal scorer is Luka Jovic with 29 in 33. Vukan Savicevic has got 21 goals this year. He's been on fire. Gajic and Militic have actually really dropped off. Militic actually only has 8, considering how well he started the season. I thought he was going to be, you know, well up for it, so to speak. As for assists, well, that is Militic with 11, Adamenko has 10, Jovic and Gajic with 9. Player of the match, Savicevic with 8. That is incredible. Complete legend. Bazan Vera has 9 yellow cards, no reds at all, which is awesome. Average rating overall, I'll tell you what, Stefanovic has done well in the games he's played for us, the youngster. He's not that good, but he's played well. Savicevic is obviously up there as well. Apologies for that in the background. Key aerial challenges, of course, 78 for Bazan Vera, no big surprise there. Key passes, 62 for Militic. Ristic is still not looking the player he was, and I don't know why. Key tackles, Bazan Vera, 35. Interceptions, of course, 336 from him. Overall value, Jovic is the most valuable. You can see Savicevic starting to creep in there as well. Mistakes leading to goals. Bazan Vera with 4 now. I'm guessing these have all been mostly in Europe. Anyway, let's jump back into today's game, because we don't want this episode to go on for 2. I didn't want it to go on for like an hour, you know. I wanted to try and keep it under 40 minutes if we can. So they're playing the same system, which is interesting. So, but we have to go more attacking today. We have no choice but to go out there and have a go at them, basically, and that's what we're going to try and do. Full strength, Jovic, Militic, Savicevic, Gajic, Tufedzic, Ristic, Adamenko, Lazic, Bazan Vera, and Antic, and the bench is relatively similar to that. So let's just go for this, guys. You know, we've got no choice but to have a... Ooh, now they've changed their system for this away game, which I think might actually play into our hands a little bit, because I was worried about going up against that system in this leg, because I figured if we opened up a bit, it could get us. We're going to go on attacking for this one, because we need to go out there and have a crack at them, which is what we've used to our advantage before in these games, and I think it's worked in general. Plus, we don't really have much choice but to go for it, so let's just see what we can do. They're a very, very strong side. They won the Champions League last time around, so let's not forget that. But we did better than losing 7-3 to them like we did when we first played last season. So that was a step in the right direction, but it's how we do today that I think is going to be crucial. If we can get the first goal, that could mean everything to us. You know how strong we are at home. We've proven how strong we can be at home. And I want us to try and... why did the guy near the ball not try and win that? Lazic, Adamenko, stepping up, Savicevic, dribbling through a couple of Liverpool players, please don't lose the ball. Tufedzic, the youngster, who I still think has got a lot of potential. Savicevic, that's a poor touch from Savicevic. Raheem Sterling now with the ball. Drops it shot for Zivkovic. It's a huge gap open for Jordan Henderson, and there's more players bombing across, and that... Oh, dear. 1-0 Liverpool. And that is 4-1 on aggregate now, and I think that has really put the cat amongst the pigeons, and disappointing. Terrible touch that led to that, but then, I mean, Jesus, goalkeeper I'm not blaming the goalkeeper there. He came out to close down what looked like it was going to be a shot from Chan, and it ended up coming in instead from Coutinho. Liverpool have started this one very, very strongly as well. I just think that it probably is just a bridge too far, but we've not exactly embarrassed ourselves and got spanked like 9-0 or something, so I'm pleased with that. I still want to see what kind of performance we can put in today. You know, see us give it a crack. I'm going to stay like this till half-time. We might have to throw it on overload a little bit later on, but we are the home team, so they might just... Oh, that's so poor. What I don't quite understand is why the passing suddenly goes to shit against the big sides. It makes no sense. Like, I understand that they can intercept more, but sometimes we're just passing the ball straight to them. Gajic! Oh, around the post there from Milan Gajic. Not bad. Only 1-0. There's still a lot of time left in this game, but 3 second-half goals? I'm not confident that we'll be able to get 3 second-half goals, but we'll do our best. Right, what can we change? Firstly, we'll just mess with the opposition instructions. What can we change? I'm going to say play wider. I am going to say get stuck in. We're going to pass into some space if we can. I'm going to go on overload because we've got no choice but to thump everything we can at this game at the moment, and that's the best option I think we've got. We probably will concede more goals in the second half. This will either work or it won't. Those are the two options. We'll probably either get ourselves a couple of goals and we'll win the game, or we'll lose it by 2 or 3 goals. But you have to take the risk at this time. It's our only real shot now at getting through to the next round. This is just going to be a long ball lumped forward, but he's well offside. Good defending. Jovic, just a little too deep here, guys. Savicevic, he's got a man outside him. Will he use him? No, he's come inside himself. Will he shoot? Oh, it's gone in the back of the back. Oh, it's in the back of the net. It's Milutin Militic. Sorry, his name always gets me. There we go. A little bit of luck there. Great work from Vukan Savicevic, though. Inside one defender. Inside the next one as well. Selflessly drops it off for Militic. Deflected in off the defender. We'll take it. It's 1-1 on 45 minutes. 2 more, guys. We'll take this to extra time. It certainly isn't going to be a special... Oh, dear. Oh, good defending. Well done, guys. That being said, they've not been anywhere near as good as they were in the home leg. So that's, I guess, a bonus. We have at least stifled them in some respects. But I do think they'll probably end up winning this one in the end. But we're going to give it a go. And what I want to do is get into a situation where they're forced to... I might just take off, get stuck in. I don't want to give away a penalty now. But yeah, I want to try and force them into a situation where they're actually forced to just go, well, maybe we should just defend what we have. That's what I want to get the situation to be like. And oh, that's a good ball. Savicevic. Penalty! Oh my goodness, we have a penalty. Red Star have a chance to not equalise, take the tie back, and this could be interesting. Go on, Luca. Go on. Oh, whoa. We've missed so many penalties lately. I don't know what's going on. He's got decent penalty stats and good composure, but I think we've missed our last 4 penalties in all competitions. I think, guys, that with that penalty miss goes any chance we have of going through to the next round of this. Then again, I think we can be pretty proud of our performance. You know, considering they're Liverpool, we've certainly matched them tonight. And oh, damn. Yeah, they'll probably score from this now. That's good clearance. Well done. Jovic should probably be stepping back and winning that ball. There you go. Well done, Adamenko. Savicevic, can he keep the play moving? Nope. He's just kicked it straight at the defender. They'll almost certainly score from that. What are you doing, defenders? Okay, well, I think had we scored that, there might have been a hope for us, because the momentum would have been all ours then. Adamenko. Oh, Antic. Ball in. Jovic! Oh no, we're winning. Sorry, I've just said, oh no, we're winning. What I mean is, oh no, because I think we're still not going to go through. That penalty, oh my god, that would have been 3-1. If Jovic scored the damn penalty, we'd have been 3-1 up here. Great in the air from Jovic. I think we need to get some more balls in the box. Right, first sub. Who do we make the sub, though? Okay, I'm going to bring off to Fedzic and bring on Cernic. That's the I don't want to tinker too much at the moment because we're playing so well. Team talk, we're going to push forward. And... Right. I'm going to say float crosses because... Yeah. I think we're going to float the crosses, because I've tried this before and it works, because Jovic can win the ball in the air better than some of the other players can. The worst thing about this is, like, that penalty and the 3-1 win, potentially, would have taken this to extra time. And it looks like we're going to go out as a result of... That's disappointing. I can't believe it. We're going to come very, very close to an incredible result, basically. That's what it looks like. We're going to make one last little sub here. I'm going to bring on Toshka for Miletic, just to... last couple of seconds, fresh legs perhaps. Gavric maybe on for Gajic out on this side. I don't know. Let's just go for it. We've got 5 minutes. Can we get the most incredible equaliser? Fact is, we probably should have had it already. I think... oh, well defended, guys. Come on. But that's unfortunately going to be the highlight, isn't it? Or is it? Jovic. Come on, Luka. Come on, Luka. No, he's got men all around him. That's not bad. Miletic, Savicevic, get in the box, get in the box, get in the... Oh, dear. It's never going to be an easy game, was it? But I just feel like that penalty miss is going to be the one thing that's stopping us from... so close, guys. So damn close. We very nearly did it. We're going to beat Liverpool, the reigning Champions League winners. So unless... and oh, that was it. That was the chance. That's it. Gone. That's it. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That penalty miss has just denied us the chance to take Liverpool to extra time. Oh, that is gutting. That is probably one of the most gutting games we've had in this entire save. Also, massive impressed there. We've actually beaten Liverpool in a Champions League match at home. We are so good at home. And that gives me confidence going into next year's competition, though, that if we could be this good at home. I can't believe Luka Jovic missed the penalty. That is depressing as hell. But that means that's his 11th... Oh, he would have had 12 and all. 11 goals in this competition for Luka Jovic is pretty damn impressive, and I do wonder if anyone's actually going to be able to beat that. He might well get the golden boot for the Champions League, which would be pretty damn impressive. Well done us, I guess. Let me just see how much money we get. Yeah, well, you say rise to see us off. I don't think that's the case in that game. Well done us. So 3.12 million pounds there is pretty damn good as well. So let's see what we've got left in terms of the league. To be honest, guys, I'm tempted to just do the whole rest of the season in the next episode, basically, and just have that as like a wrap-up one so we can get going into the next year. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. So yeah, join me in the next episode. We'll be live commenting the Proletar Novi Sad game, do a squad report, of course, and talk about sort of plans that we're going to have for next season. I'm going to try and play some of the youngsters, and we'll talk about the youngsters I signed as well in the next episode too. So yeah, if you guys are like what you're seeing, and as much as we lost, I've been very, very impressed with our performances in Europe this year. Please drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I'll see you guys in the next episode for the last day of the season against Proletar Novi Sad. See you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.